Another week of streaky performances from both hot and cold NFL teams will lead to continued speculation as to which squads are sinking fast and which ones are legit. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Grant Sheets. Joining me today are Joe Callahan and Tim Rogers. Tonight, we'll be looking at a few teams whose performances have shocked us as of late and whether we should be overreacting to their play. Guys, we're going to kick things off with a red-hot West Coast team in the San Francisco 49ers. They've quietly won 3 straight en route to going to 6-5. And while Jimmy Garoppolo isn't exactly lighting up the stat sheet, he's done the job and he's kept Trey Lance on the bench. So, what do you think about the Niners? Should we react to or overreact to their performance?
I think we're looking at them to be not just a true playoff team, but as a Super Bowl contender. Now, when we look about the 49ers when they made the Super Bowl a few years back, it was all started from their defense. And it's doing the same thing with Nick Bosa again. It's so great to see him back and healthy after coming off that terrible injury last year. He's got 11 sacks on the season and looks great doing so. Fred Warner, 92 tackles as well, absolutely dominating the middle linebacker position. But you could pick anybody from this San Francisco 49ers defense, and they're all playing together as a unit. They, like you said, they won 3 straight games and against good teams. Obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars are not a good team. That's not the team I'm talking about. The LA Rams are a serious team, and they beat them down. And then beating a Minnesota Vikings team who could make the playoffs and doing it in a good fashion. But the thing that surprised me about the Niners so far this season is their run game. They're averaging 130 yards per game, top 5 in the NFL. And they're doing it with guys like Elijah Mitchell and lately Deebo Samuel, who just had 2 touchdowns this past weekend. And it's opening up many play-action lanes for Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, we know Jimmy Garoppolo, Gucci Garop as I like to call him, is not the most play time. He doesn't make the big-time throws, but he's being safe. He's being comfortable with his passes. He's not turning over the ball that much, and that's why Trey Lance is on the bench right now. And I'm looking at this team to be a serious threat in the playoffs this year.
Next up, we've got one of the hottest teams in the NFL, if not the hottest team in the New England Patriots, who are now 8-4, coming off their 6th win in a row, and Bill Belichick and the Patriots dynasty is back in action. So, Joe, tell me, do you think that this team, is it far-fetched to say that the Patriots are ready to go chase their 7th Lombardi trophy?
Super Bowl is a little bit far-fetched, but I said last week that this team was a top 10 team. What are they now? Top 5 record. Their defense is number 1 in interceptions with 19. Mac Jones just keeps getting better under Bill Belichick. And I want to clarify something because everyone came at me last week after I said Mac Jones was the next Tom Brady. I did not say that he's going to win 7 Super Bowls and beat Tom Brady out. I meant scheme fit. Reason why is because Cam Newton was in the scheme beforehand. Cam Newton is Cam. He's going to be Superman. He's going to run. He's going to create outside the pocket. They need somebody to be sitting in the pocket, taking what the defense gives them. Because that's what Tom Brady predicated himself off of since 2001 when he stepped up, and now 6, 7 Super Bowls going for, 44, 45. That's where I was going. But this team is legit. This team has a top 5 defense. The offense is a little bit staggering because they did get off to that slow start. Mac Jones needed to mature. When he came out of Alabama, he was a glorified game manager. But that's what Bill Belichick knows, how to turn that into something more, because that's what Tom Brady was coming into the league. This team is going to be legit. Super Bowl is a little bit far-fetched. They're in the question, but I wouldn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl. And again, this team is legit.
Well, I'm with you on Mac Jones. I mean, anytime you've got a rookie quarterback starting on a team that's ready to contend, you're going to have some speed bumps, whether it's a wrong read or celebrating after sliding short of the first down. He's going to have his moments, but I think this Patriots team is ready. And with that, we're going to move on to some of the colder teams in the NFL, starting off with the Dallas Cowboys, none other than America's team, now at 7-4 after losing 3 straight. They had a promising start to the season, but tell me, do you think that Mike McCarthy's squad is starting to fall off here?
I do think that they're not falling off, but I do think that this was a very bad stretch. This team is in a division where you have 3 teams that can't even find their way, don't know their identity, right? And I'm a fan of them. Grant's another fan of another team. So, I mean, Giants just waltzed into a win against the Eagles. So this Cowboys team is still number 1 in offensive efficiency. Their defense is top 5 in turnovers, and they're also legit. There's 3 questions I have, though. Number 1, Dak Prescott has to play at an all-pro level in order for them to win. Zeke and the O-line can be what they are. Cooper can be what he is. Dak needs to play like an all-pro. He hasn't. Number 2 is the coach. I don't think that they're following his motive. I don't think he's inspiring them. I just think that he was somebody that, Aaron Rodgers kind of brought up that one Super Bowl. He did nothing with him now. And I think that he is one of the main reasons. The other third reason was the reason why they lost the Raiders game. I mean, I don't know if Anthony Brown needed a therapist and wanted a hug, or if he had one and he told him to never look back and he took it to heart. There was 4 pass interferences on him that turned into points. That game should have never been anywhere close. Because the Raiders, again, they've been decimated by what happened to them during the season, and now they're just, trying to find their way. That game should have never been as close as it was, and the reason why is because of the 4 pass interference penalties by Anthony Brown. He has to be better. The coach needs to be better, and Dak needs to be better.
Well, we'll see how the Cowboys fare this week without Mike McCarthy, who's out in COVID protocol. And with that, we save perhaps the most disappointing team as of late for last in the LA Rams, despite adding 2 big stars in Odell Beckham and Von Miller. So tell me, do you think that Matthew Stafford and co. are in trouble?
Yeah. I mean, it's not time to hit the full panic button, but your hands should be hovering it right now. I mean, he threw a pick 6 in each of these last 3 games. We all thought it was just because he was in Detroit, Detroit Lions. Sorry, Detroit Lions fans, but they're nothing special. But, I mean, he's got not 1, not 2, but 3 pick 6s in the last 3 games. That's unacceptable, and that's not going to win you games. And the big thing is their defense, in my opinion. They've given up in each of those 3 losses 28 points at least. The Tennessee Titans didn't have Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill is nothing special. So they can't be allowing this to happen. And you talked about how Dak needs to play at that all-pro level. Aaron Donald does too. And obviously Aaron Donald's playing well. He's got 6 sacks right now, 55 tackles. But we're used to Aaron Donald having double-digit sacks at this point, and he's just not. So if Stafford can get it together, do I think they'll be okay? Yes. But they've got 5 out of these next 6 games that are very difficult. Again, I'm sorry, Jaguars fans, you keep coming up. But they're playing the Arizona Cardinals, the Niners, who we just talked about, the Vikings, again, a very good team. These are all teams that are legit and can make a playoff push, that if the Rams aren't able to get this together, they won't make the playoffs. And if they do, they're not going to do anything special in it.
Well, let me tell you, only time will tell which teams are primed for a playoff push in a season that's taught us to expect the unexpected. And with that, that's all for today's segment. For Joe Callahan, Tim Rogers, I'm Grant Sheets. Thanks for joining us today. See you all next time.
Thank you for watching this edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also, follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.